Welcome back to the Corde Snell Show. We back. I'm the guy. We doing it. Hell yeah, episode 12, right? Isn't it episode 12?
Yeah, I believe we're on episode 12.
Hell yeah. What up, Jared? How we doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. What about you, Noah? How you doing?
I'm doing good.
All right. I'm not high this week. Hell yeah. That's cool.
We didn't say that.
Nope.
Out the gate. I don't smoke. I don't get high. Because it makes me hella paranoid. It very slows me down. Like, you guys see me right now. I'm like cool with it. I think clear. But if I get high, I just slow down. It's kind of like Chopped and Screwed. I don't want to be Chopped and Screwed. Do you guys know about Chopped and Screwed music?
No. What's that?
No.
Okay, so Chopped and Screwed was like this big thing in the early 2000s that it basically sounded like you was high or some shit like that. But look, Mike Jones, Paul Wall, 3-6, not 3-6. It's like something from the down south that they used to do a lot. The best Chopped and Screwed song that I ever heard, because sometimes it would just get repetitive because it would be like too damn slow, because they were like, and then they'll chop and screwed, like kind of a thing, was the Whisper song by Yin Yang Twins.
I might have heard some of these, maybe I have heard
it. Because it's like, wait till you see my dick. Wait till you see my, but they chopped and screwed it to slow it down. So it'll be like, wait till you see my dick. wait till you see my So it was pretty dope. Also, dick is still better than cock, Jared. I was listening back to the episode the other day.
I'm drawing a line in the sand on this one.
Hey, yeah, you draw that line in the sand, and I'm gonna fucking erase it with my foot. So I'm glad Noah was on my side for that one too. That was definitely an amazing thing. I've been like, as we know, we do the podcast every week. We chop it up, or we edit clips and stuff like that. Especially I'll be editing the clips. And the funniest clip that I got from episode 9 was the fact that I said that my mom wasn't into me dating white women, which was super funny. But then I posted it on my Instagram and on my story, and hella people was laughing, but hella people also was kind of like offended. Not offended, but the white chicks who like be in my DMs sometimes, they was like, oh, so this how your mom feel about me? And I was like, nah, I mean, this was like an old story that I was telling about. Also, this was like me growing up. This was me telling her about chicks I was dating growing up. So I'm like, she doesn't feel this the same. And the funny thing about it, I sent her the clip of what I said, and she responded back and was like, I've gotten a little better. And it was super funny though, because like, it's true. It's like something about black moms. She just always say, I just see you with a black woman. I want you to be with a black woman. So it was less of what she saw. She's like, I just want you to be with a black woman. I just think you would help black woman, like be like with a strong black woman. You would prop her up. You would make her like, you're a great man. You're a great person. You're a great human being, Corde. And then I always think about it too, because like my mom always told me to be respectful to women, be great towards women. And I always used to say this, like especially early on in like my 20s when I'd be trying to date chicks and it wouldn't work out. I said, my mom taught me how to be a great man for the woman I eventually marry. But she didn't teach me how to deal with these hoes, though. She did not teach me how to deal with that. Or just the women who, because it was, I was treating every single woman with respect. Not saying that you shouldn't treat all women with respect, but sometimes, I'll say it, fine, you can't be a perfect guy to every single chick, because for whatever reason, being nice, being gracious, tell them good morning, getting a door from, being like a very good, respectful guy doesn't rub off to every chick. They were like, why are you so nice? Like, I still remember Tupac. It was an old Tupac clip. He was like, I was taking this girl out. I was being, doing all disrespectful things. And then she's like, you're too nice. He's like, now it was weird. This is back when he was at the art school. And then all of a sudden, next clip is like, cause we ain't fuck this. Cause we don't give a fuck about these bitches out here and shit like that. And then I'm like, that version of Tupac was way more respected than the artistic one who was in art school with Jada. And for whatever reason, like, I don't get it, but I do get it in the sense, like I remember I talking to a homegirl of mine like way back when, and I remember she had been dating nothing but a bunch of dudes who was like trash to her, who was like terrible for her, that she thought that's how normalized guys are supposed to be. So then when she met a dude who was actually normal and wanted to be with her and just like treated her well, she couldn't accept it. And then I was like, I just told her, and then she came to realization too, like in our conversation. She was like, the problem with me, or what happened to me, Corde, is that I wasn't ready for, or I didn't believe that this is the type of love that I should be receiving, like a warmness, someone who's like faithful, someone who doesn't, question everything, who's actually like has my best interest at heart. I was like, yeah, that's tragic to hear, but I was like, that makes a lot of sense because a lot of toxic dudes be fucking chicks up all the time out here, and I had to literally learn to be toxic so I could date chicks, which is like a weird thing to say, but it's like also real because like sometimes nice dudes literally have to take on like trash behavioristic things just to like kind of survive out here in the dating pool, which is weird to say. Like it's kind of weird to say and reflect on.
There's something, I'm trying to remember the quote in my head. It's some psychologist said, like, we accept the love that we received when we were younger.
Yeah.
So if you had like a shitty dad, those girls are always kind of looking to replicate those relationships, which is why they hang out with toxic dudes.
Yeah. And then a lot of toxic dudes out here because there's like shitty dads out here and stuff like that. And so it's if you get into psychology of like we talking about, it's if you grow up seeing like your mom or like your, I guess, a relationship that's very toxic, person cheating, person treating your mom or something like that in a very disrespectful manner, the child internalizes that and thinks that's what love is instead of what an actual good romantic relationship should be, which to me, I'm like, if you always see rom-coms every day or movies, but then never mind, they're like, that's just the movies, that's not real. This is real. This my yelling every night, why are you out there with all those other women, that's real. Like, why are you them? Like, oh, and it's funny to see like that's love, like that's love. And it's always funny when women fall off for like a terrible dude, like the first like, oh my god, like I don't know why he doesn't treat me better. And I always think about it like this, right? You ever notice like when a toxic dude is dating a chick and she's like super good, super nice, super respectful, and then they try to be better to them, be nicer for them, try to do more, and then thinking it's gonna help the guy change. But it's one of those things like if I'm doing less and you giving me more, why would I give you more if I'm already giving you the bare minimum and you keep doing more and more things for me? And most of the time, I always say, like, ladies, if you date a toxic dude, if you date a dude who's trash, he won't get better till he decides to get better or until you leave. But then I've talked to women before where they say, like, they'll have moments of regret or, like, there'll be moments of wondering why after they left and he gets with somebody else that he finally became the good dude or who they saw in him. I was like, because it took, y'all was together for 7 years and then he finally matured. Don't look back on it like that. Like, oh my God, like this is, I saw him being like this. Also, sometimes trash dudes never get better. I'll be honest with you. They have like these small moments of goodness to them, right? And they be like, oh my God, this is what I saw him and stuff like that. And they hold on to these like small little good moments instead of the everyday bad shit that they see. But then it's funny. It's funny to think about it because they was like, yo, he's finally doing good now. Like, why couldn't I get that? I was like, also, you should have probably never been with him. Because I feel like women lower their standards in like a weird way. Like toxic dude, very good woman who's going places. Oh, another from episode 9. I said sometimes chicks be out here dating dudes who ain't got no future, ain't going nowhere. And they'll be at work or at college. And then they trash ass dude has their car. Like a few homegirls of mine was like, I'm triggered by this episode, Corde. And I was like, why are you triggered? She was like, because I was the chick dating a dude who I had no right being with, but he was cute, or like he gamed her up hella much, and yeah, I'll be at work and he driving my car, bringing it back on E, and I'm like, so why'd you stick with him? I'm like, oh, I don't know, he was cute, and I'm like, he dicked you down, didn't he? He dicked you down, and she was like, he did, and I'm like, I know it's something you could be let's be real about it. Like toxic dudes have good D. No Diddy. Like that.
Well, that's the only thing they're focusing on.
Yeah, that's what
they don't have a job. They don't have a job. Other things to worry about.
It kills me. Yo, this kills me, yo.
Give me 18 hours a day to learn how to dick you down, and I probably can.
You fucking to survive. Like, yo, if I don't fuck her good, I don't have a car. I don't have a place to live. I won't be getting fed, you know? So I'm going to give you the best D of your life so I can survive. live, okay? Like, I remember I started thinking about a joke just like this, right? And I was like, you know why that toxic ass dude who's sleeping on your couch got amazing dick? Because he ain't got shit else going for him, okay? I was like, I work, I go to school, I do comedy, I'm trying to go to the gym. That motherfucker is sleeping all day, all right? He waking up well rested, ready to fuck. I got other shit going on, okay? All right? I can't give you top notch, the best D you ever had. Well, for some, I actually can't. No, I can't sleep with myself, all right? Give me a good night rest. That morning dick is amazing, all right? That morning dick. But, if you ain't doing nothing all day, sitting around with your homies, that's all you can do.
Corde, you're just not there when I need you to be there.
Yeah. Because I got a fucking job, okay? So this is another thing too, right? This is another thing that's been coming up this week. Like when chicks seeing that clip and saying oh, for real? Like, okay, you don't date white girls? And so a few be like, oh, damn, so you can't date me? Your mom won't accept me or whatever? And then other chicks was like, Corde, you just wasn't there. Like, and it was like, because you was busy. And I'm just like, but yeah, I'm pursuing stuff. And it's weird so this is another thing too. Like a dude who gives women good D is always there because they ain't got shit going on, right? So then for me, my problem used to be, well, like, Corde, like you're super busy. Like, I don't think you have time for me. Like, I don't know if you have time. I don't know if this is gonna work out. And I'm like, yo, I'll make time for you when I can. Like I'm very spur of the moment sometimes. Like I plan dates, but then also like random shows come up that's like actually like could forward my career stuff. Like, can we reschedule and shit like that? And it's always funny and weird when I think sometimes women don't like to chase. I don't think, like dudes are always chasing like, oh, it's cool, we can reschedule, especially if she's fine. Like, okay, oh, I'm sorry, I hate to do this last minute. I'm sorry, but can we reschedule the date? And dude be like, oh yeah, anything for you, boo, anything for you, fine as hell, shit like that. When can you reschedule? Next Friday, next Thursday? Yeah, we could do next Thursday. And then they flake on Thursday. Then be like, what about Saturday? Be like, let's do Saturday. And they flake on Saturday, and you finally hang out with them after 2 weeks. But then when you get the same amount of busy as them, then it's like not the same. It was like,
if he wanted to, he would.
Yeah, exactly. If you really wanted to be with me, you would make time. Girl, I am trying to make time, but you flaked on me 7 times beforehand. I flaked on you once, and you mad at me? Like, oh, the shoe on the other foot, huh? Like, for real?
You trash, Corde.
Exactly.
I can't trust you.
Corde, the name of this episode is Corde is trash, all right? Or you ain't got time for me. Make time for me. Make time for me. Yo, I'm getting super passionate about this shit right now.
I feel like the internet has made that worse too.
Yeah.
Like, you ever see those memes of like girls getting texts from a guy in the morning and it's just like, what's up, beautiful? How are you? You're amazing. And she's like, why can't I get this every day?
Yeah.
And again, I think, because I have a job.
Yo, you hitting a real nerve right now, right? Because I was watching some shit on the internet, which isn't always the best place to be, all right? And literally, it was like a video of a woman talking about how dudes be doing the bare minimum and stuff like that. And she was just like, she said, a dude texted her, I hope you have a good day, beautiful. And she was like, well, now I'm going to have a shitty day. What you mean have a good day or something like that? That's doing the bare minimum, right? And all the dudes in the comments like, saying have a good day is doing the bare minimum. And then this one chick kind of got at me because I said this chick like didn't like small talk, right? This one chick I was talking to didn't like small talk, but then also she would never contribute to the conversation that we was having. So she always talk about, I don't like small talk, I don't like this. And a lot of time I do small talk to initiate the conversation, to just start like, all right, because like, how was your day? How are you doing? Good morning, good night. Because that's usually the shit that you see on the guys see the like, you'd be like, oh, I wish somebody would do this for me. So good morning text, good night text. And this is how you start the relationship. You kind of like want to let them know that you're thinking about them in the morning and at night. And then sometimes you might give them more as the relationship goes on, right? But this chick was like, I hate small talk. And I'm just like, you never contribute to the conversation throughout the day. I post stuff on Instagram. That's what I usually, and as you post stuff on Instagram, I comment on what you're doing. Like, hey, I hope you have fun at that concert. Oh shit, look like your job is really taking you places. Like, oh shit, another flight. Hopefully we could take flights together or some shit like that, right? And then she was just like, I just hate small talk. I don't like the little small back and forth. I'm like, girl, You never say nothing back. Like, you never contribute to this conversation. You're never doing anything. So it was weird to hear, like, dudes be doing the bare minimum. No, we're initiating the conversation. Hopefully you will add to it and we can keep building on some stuff. But if I put, like, you know, like a brick here, and then, you know, put the clay shit, we can't keep building, or this foundation will be very weak because you ain't helped me build this foundation, you know? Like, help me build the foundation, ladies. Help me build the foundation. The name of this episode is called Building the Foundation.
Just gonna keep renaming the episode.
Renaming the episode, hell yeah. It's a lot of passion here. It's a lot of passion today. But yeah, so like, just because it's funny, because dating world is so crazy, so hectic, and the internet makes it super worse, right? Because like I said, I was commenting on this post, right, and this chick was saying, you don't understand, like, saying have a good day is the bare minimum. And then the chick started going like on this long rant. I was like, somebody messed you up. Like, she's like, dudes be doing out here. That's why so many women be out here bored, and some women be out here single because dudes be doing the bare minimum and not helping us and not doing stuff. And I wanted to say, I was like, ma'am, I understand what you're talking about right now. Seems like some dudes in your past really be doing the bare minimum out here. I was like, but I'm a guy who understands the bare minimum that most dudes do. But all I'm trying to say is meet me halfway. If I say good morning, you say good morning back, and we can start a conversation from there. This is how I figure you out and what you like to do, right? But if you always say, if you always playing the victim card, that men are always doing this and they're never helping women, I'm like, we have to be equal playing field partners here, all right? So if you saying, like, for going back to the other chick, you say you hate small talk, I'm like, well, tell me what you like then. Tell me what you want to talk about. Tell me this, tell me that. But if you just say you hate small talk, I'm just like, okay, well, what the fuck do I ask you now? Because I start asking her deeper questions that she didn't want to go into. And I'm like, okay, so now it's back to small talk. Okay, like, you know, it's like, okay, small talk. It's here on the board, all right? Small talk. We're going to initiate the conversation right here. We're going to penetrate the defense with a small talk, all right? And that's how we start getting into the red zone so we could possibly score, okay, all right? And it's like, oh, shit. We sent the small talk out there and they stuffed it for -2 yards. Okay, all right. So we got to redraw. We got to Okay, now we about to do a Hail Mary and we gonna go deep. And then all of a sudden, we went deep. Pass interference, or the receiver dropped it. Okay, so now that might have worked, but we chose the wrong place. So we gotta go back to the drawing board to figure out what exactly this chick likes and how we gonna build a deeper connection with this one chick who hates small talk. They don't like running the ball. Maybe we should run a no huddle where we're just gonna be spitballing a lot of questions at you. Would you like this? You like this? What's your color? What's your favorite color? I like to see you red lipstick. What's your favorite type of lipstick? Well, I see you very dressed, very stylish. What type of style? Like, what's some of your best designers? I see you wearing red bottoms. You like red bottoms, but what other high class shoe do you like? Do you like wearing Jordans? I see you got a few pair of Jordans. Like, shit like that. But then sometimes chicks be like, yeah, that's all small talk. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, what am I doing? This is just the early ranting portion of the episode.
What happens when we don't put coffee in you?
Yeah. This is off of no coffee, too. No way. I ain't eat today. I ain't had coffee, so I got a lot of energy. I got a good night's sleep, I guess. But yeah, damn, I am over here. Woo! Energized. We are starting off strong. Hell yeah. So that is great. And if you just made time for me, Corde, we would have had a good foundation. I'm like, well, I put a brick there. You didn't put the clay. I need the clay. All right. I feel like that would be like the fucking thing you use, like just like this. But yeah, I don't know what to talk about now.
Well, I want to ask you.
Okay.
I feel like you've been on quite a few dates.
Yeah.
How many dates do you think you've been on in like the last year, maybe?
Okay, probably not a lot. So
Okay.
so sometimes, because so this is what I do a lot. I keep moving the camera.
It's all right.
Sometimes I don't go on a lot of dates, but I'll talk to a bunch of different women, right?
Okay.
I'll talk to a bunch of different women. And the reason why I don't go on as many dates as talking to women, because I'm trying to figure out, do I want to reschedule this comedy show or maybe not take a comedy show on and try to go on a date with this woman? And then sometimes I hate when I go out on a first date, because one thing men and women both have in common is that we don't like first dates because it's just a get to know process, and sometimes it'd be awkward, sometimes it'd be a waste of time, and sometimes the other person doesn't respect your time or flake last minute. And I'm like, girl, I could have been doing a show. Like I made time for you during my busy schedule, kind of a thing. And then sometimes going going on a date with a chick, and I thought it went well, and then it's like a joke I'm doing, but it's just like you pay for the date, and then they decide I don't think it's gonna go any further. I'm like, what point during the date did you make this decision that you didn't think this was gonna go further? I'm like, we could have split it.
Right.
Like I felt like if you didn't feel like, we could have split this date instead of me being a gentleman and trying to pay for yours. Like, or what we're taught, dude's supposed to pay for the first date, no matter what, no matter how much he spends on the date, you have to pay for it. Even if it's $350, you supposed to pay. And I'm right. I know. Yep. I know, Noah. Yep. Yeah. Right. And it's just like, that's what the gentleman supposed to do. And I'm like, girl, don't you work too? What you mean? What you mean? Or the funny thing, I remember I asked a chick, she's like, well, I feel whoever asks the other person out should pay for the date. I'm like, okay. I was like, do you ever ask a man out? She's like, no, why would I do that?
Brilliant. Honestly, brilliant.
I was like, right? I was like, are you serious? I was like, what? So what you said is just a fucking lie then, all right? Like, that makes no sense. If you never asked her to dude out, so you never gonna pay. She was like, yeah, I never really asked for dudes out. I was like, why now? She's like, well, usually I get approached. And I was just like, you don't know how good you got it. You don't know how good you got it. Like, real talk. But going back to dates, I haven't been on a bunch because sometimes I get jaded from them. But and then also sometimes that'd be another thing too. Dates are expensive, especially if you're going out especially because I'm talking to several different women at one time, and I'm trying to plan dates during a busy week of comedy. I got to really figure out which one, and then what it really comes down to is like, which one of these chicks do I really see building a future with, right? Because like, I'm a busy comedian. Hopefully she understands I'm a busy comedian, and then she will be able to like, if I go back to the if you really liked me, you would make time. And I was like, this is me making time as I'm trying to ascend to a career in comedy or teaching. Usually comedy is like the main thing, because like most people's nights are free, but if I'm doing comedy most of the nights, so and then it goes back to another thing, Will. It's like, will you understand me not always being free to build up this comedy career? And then also at the same time, I'm trying to build up this comedy career, because if this becomes serious, my comedy career will take us to new heights. So it's like a multitude of things. I have to first initiate making time with you to go on dates while still propelling my comedy career. And then this comedy career will take us farther. So it's like a multitude of things. Like, what shows do I not do? What shows do I do? But then it's like, also, I need practice for this. If I have a big show coming up, I need practice for that. So I might go to this open mic instead of hanging out with you. Or can we hang out? Like, a lot of times for me, I be trying to hang out on a late night or a very spur of the moment. But a lot of times you're like, oh, you just always trying to hang out with me like after 10 p.m. I'm like, well, that's after a mic or a show. So now I'm getting everything out the way. Cause I went to work, then I went home for a bit, chill, then I went to open mic, and like now I'm free. Like, I'm free late night, but not everybody's free late night. Some people gotta wake up in the morning. Then it'd be like, I remember one time this chick was just like, you just always wanted to hang out in your car. And like, I was like, I wasn't down for that. I was like, well, actually, did you want to go to a bar? Did you want to get a late night food or something like that? And she was just like, I don't know. It just always, I was like, also, like, I'm older. I'm 34, so me going over your house or just like, I don't immediately think we gonna get intimate. I'm just like, I go through like stuff like, oh, can I come over? Like, oh, I don't know. Like, I ain't trying to have dudes in my house. Like, I get you, but I'm just trying to chill because it's late. And I know you probably don't want to be in my car. That's like a thing, like, like, well, plan something out. I'm like, well, I'm trying to plan something out, but I got a big show that I just got added to last minute. They can really propel me. So like, I'm trying to come hang out with you after my big show, talk about that or talk about us. And it's like, or like, cause sometimes I don't like women I'm dating coming to a show initially, cause I'll be just so busy and focused on the show that I don't give them the proper amount of time that I feel like I normally would if it was just on a date. So then now I'm in my mind, like, I need to figure out how to give her time, but then also I'm trying to focus on this comedy thing that's my real career. So it's a multitude of like things clashing at this show that I'm just like, well, fuck, what the fuck do I do? And then sometimes I just let them know, like, hey, I don't want you coming to my show. Like, and it's not like it's like, oh, because you meet women at the show, and I'm like, yeah, I meet women with their boyfriends. Like that's the top people I meet. It's like it's your dude who thinks I'm hella funny, and the chick was like, you know, my boyfriend would love you, and I was like, well, make sure he's at the next damn show, okay? Because women bring a lot of people to shows, so I make female fans. So I'm like, if she comes again with her, like next time brings her dude, he might bring his homie, or she might bring her friend, her female friends, and they boy. So now I'm bringing in people. So like, yeah, I do need to be meeting and talking to women, but I don't want my girl over in the corner like, so why'd you post with that? Why'd you take a picture with that girl? I'm like, cause she was telling me about her boyfriend, and I like, what? So you got her IG? Because sometimes I do get chicks' IGs and meet them and stuff like that, but most of the time I'm very selective. Like most of the time I get a chick's IG and just tell her, like, this is my usual, I'm like, great meeting you, hope you come to a next show, all right? Do you live in this area? Like yes or no, or like let's say if I had a show in like Salinas, no, I live in San Jose, but I came down to Salinas. Okay, cool, I do a lot of shows in San Jose. Here's my flyer, or here's my flyer with my shows on it. Hope you can come to another show. Simple like that. Like
I feel like it's just hard to maintain a relationship as a comedian.
Yeah.
Just in general. Like even in the year that I've been doing it, like it strained my relationship a little bit. And I've had to make some adjustments. Yeah. So I can only imagine. I mean, I don't see very many comedians who have girlfriends. Yeah, they're really doing it.
Yeah. That's the thing too. It's kind of I'm always been a proponent of, I wanted to meet a girl early and we build together. Like I've thought about this when I was at football, because I always hear about when you like play football, you go pro and stuff like that. And then you always get like some girl who dudes like knocking up a chick, they get her pregnant, she paying alimony or just child care like all the time, shit like that, because you just met a chick who was only dating her for a few months.
Brittany Renners of the world.
Brittany Renner, yeah, that bitch. Yeah, that bitch. Like, yeah, that. Yeah, she's terrible because yeah, that chick definitely knows how to use her clout. Like, and yeah, exactly. We'll talk about her again. But chicks like that, right? Because if a dude who's 23, 20, he was 19 when they met, and she was 28, so she already knew what she was doing because she wanted to have, and that's a funny thing too.
To trap him,
because like she's an older woman who knows what she wants. She wants a certain level of materialistic things, a certain level of stuff. He's 18, and then he like, oh shit, I got me an older chick. She bad too. She Instagram model. She fine as hell, right? They dating for a bit. He probably cheating on her, but this is like his second year in the league, so he don't know a serious relationship. It'll be a serious relationship. He just say, I got this baddie who I'm probably smashing raw and stuff like that. Probably got other chicks in other towns, so we hit up because she not there and stuff, and then she try to like lock him down, and this homie's like, bro, what the fuck? You trying to get locked down by a chick of 28? Be out here, man. We in the league. We in the league. You ain't winning. She ain't winning. You winning. You in the league, And then all of a sudden, he cheating. I'm like, but you can't expect an 18-year-old and you 28 to really be settling down with you as he first came in the league. But then she got pregnant. Oh no, they got married. No. Did they get married?
I don't remember.
I thought they had got married, and So the story I read, I remember her, they got married, and then like after the baby came, she filed for divorce and she split like a week later. And then people were saying like, no, they actually didn't get married. I'm like, okay, so I was like, I don't even know, because I think it was weird. So basically she got pregnant by an 18-year-old dude, and then 2 weeks after the baby, she might have put him on child support, I don't know, but it was just a weird thing. Like right after the baby come, you split. Like, so then it makes it appear like you was only here for this. But then now, so even like at first I was like, well, I don't know, maybe I was trying to be on her side. But then she posted like, I'm over here looking it's stepdaddy season. I'm like, God.
Yeah, she owned up to it.
This
was like, this is what I do.
This is what I do. You should, and I remember Coach Prime took her to Colorado, and she's like, you need to understand. She's like, there's none but blue checks in my DMs. And I was just like, the fuck that mean? Like, what you just... All right, it's like, so if you can enter this world, you gotta know, like, because it seemed like she was trying to justify why, like, dudes spend money on her, why dudes, like, I'm like, okay, so dudes with check marks, I'm like, in my head, I was just like, well, Cause like Instagram sent the $15 notification.
Yeah, exactly.
If you want to be verified, I'm like,
I have a blue check mark right now.
Yeah, I got a blue check mark right now. I'm like, so which blue check marks is it? Is it, do I got 3,000 or I got 1,000 check marks? So we talk about the 20.
Could you imagine you buy the blue check mark and then you immediately get a DM from Brittany Renner?
Oh, what up, Corde? I see you got that blue check mark. That means you verified. You know, I was always a fan of yours.
Funny.
I always thought you was hella funny. I saw you open for Donnell Rollins recently at the Comedy Store. I'm like, bitch, if you don't get the fuck out my DMs right now, yo, that shit crazy. But yeah,
and you know that inspires a lot of other girls too, which is the weird thing I think like happens with fame. Yeah. You always think like, oh, I'm going to be able to bang all these girls, but it's like you actually become this huge target.
Exactly.
Everyone's just trying to like get you.
Yeah.
And take your money. So it could be I get why celebrities go nuts.
Yeah. And then that's the thing too, because like you become a target now, and then a lot of younger dudes don't know that they are targets by all these fine women who like they be like, you know, or like you don't need to use a condom. Like, nah, we cool. And then I'll be like, and I'm like, hey, nah, like, we ain't. The fuck I don't. Kind of don't need to do that, because I'm like, because Rick Ross has a saying, it was like, you wasn't shooting with me in the gym, like you wasn't. Real quick. I remember I meant to ask this last podcast. How much would y'all spend to sleep with a woman? How much would you spend at the most?
I know how much I have spent.
For a direct transaction, or you're saying just throughout the courting process? Because I would say if I'm going throughout the courting process, right, like it's not a prostitute, I have probably spent upwards of $400, $500 before I got laid.
Yeah.
With dates, meeting up, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I feel like you're talking about direct transaction.
What you talking about, Noah?
Which one are you talking about?
You're talking about what right now?
I'm talking about how much would you spend to hook up with a chick? Not talking about prostitute and stuff like that, but how much, like, if it was like a dollar amount to give out, like it was like, if you spent this much on me, I'll probably sleep with you.
Oh, I almost feel like you want to find a sweet spot. Like I'd want to say 200 or 250, because anything above that, that's somebody that I probably wouldn't want to be with anyway, because that's like setting up a thing. Yeah. But someone under that too, I'm also kind of like, respect yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Girl, I spent $50 on you and we hooked up. Like, girl, that's like, but then my head would be like, you a cheap date. No, so I say this, right, because we was talking about ball players, stuff like that, right? The quote, 50 Cent, have a baby by me, baby, be a millionaire, right? So I did the math, right? Huge math guy. And I was just like I remember Lil Scrappy said that he paid $800 a month in child support, right? You times that by 12, that's $9,600, right? And if you times that by 18, it comes out to like, I think it's like 100,000. It's like $174,000, right? So then, right, I'm like, okay. Then the term have a baby by me, baby, be a millionaire, right? So I'm basically, now you're paying that chick $8,000 a month, right? And then over the time of 18 years, she'll become a millionaire because of all the money you have to pay. And that's if you're not there. Right? So I was asking dudes, we were like, yo, do you have $174,000 in your bank account right now? Like, yes, no. And I'm like, I was like, if you don't, put that condom on, yo. They'll put that condom on, right? Because you about to be paying, and then if you're an athlete, you ought to be paying $1 million over 18 years, and then all the extra little drama coming in and stuff like that. And so I'm just like, all right. And then I remember, I think I did it where it's like, I think a box of condoms, like from, like, I think it was like the Shell gas station by my house, was like $8. I multiplied that by something. I think I multiplied by, if you bought $8 worth of condoms, I think every day, like once a week. Oh, no, I was like, I did this one. I think it was every day for a year, and then times that by like 18. I think the total came up to like $36,000. And that's if you bought $8 pack of condoms every day for 18 years. It only came up to $36,000. And I'm like, yo, buying condoms every day for 18 years is only $36,000, but paying child support 1 month out of 1 month out of the year, times that by 12 times 18, you get $174,000. I'm like, yo, just saying, y'all, I'd rather pay $36,000 every day for the next 18 years than pay $174,000. Or if I'm an athlete, 1.17. Like just. Wear condoms. Yeah. Wear condoms, y'all. No, because I do this. I remember I just started doing it from time to time because I was like, I wonder, like, because I love math. I love just random, like, math equations, stuff like that. And I was like, okay, let me see how much it would be, yada, yada, yada. And so, yeah, my math might be off for the child support thing, but then...
It doesn't matter. It's like, we get the point. It's a lot cheaper to wrap your willy up.
So bring this back to my mom, right? Because I remember I said that. No, not like... but like talking about dating white chicks, stuff like that. I remember I told her this at lunch. My mom used to always ask me critical thinking questions all the random times. She's like, so why don't you date, or like, do you take chicks with kids? It's like, hell no. Like my little brother, I think it was like 3 or 4. I was like, date somebody with that? And like, he cool, but I was just like, I don't want to see that every day. Like, I don't want to be dealing down or help raise him. And like, that's like all the other shit. I was like, then the baby daddy coming in here, even though he trash as fuck, what we talked about beforehand. And he talked about, I want my family back together. Well, you don't want your family back together. You just want me out of the picture. So you're going to be with her for another like a month and then fuck her head up. And then as soon as I leave, it's like, I thought we was going to be back together. Or he back together with her, get her pregnant immediately. Now she got 2 kids by him. So now he feel like she really trapped because she can't go nowhere. Like all that like dumb shit. But then, so I broke down the math of how much it would be, because she actually honestly like, do you be using condoms? I was like, yes, I use condoms. I tell my homies to use condoms. I tell my cousins to use condoms. I give them condoms, but I give them like the good stuff. Like I don't give them the the Durex. I don't give them the Durex, the ones, the free condoms that you give out, right? But I was like, a free condom is better than no condom. So like I keep a bunch of those like with me. And then my mom went in my drawer and she found like a bag full of condoms. She's like, what's this? I was like, what? She's like, what, you using all these? I was like, the bag is full. Obviously I'm not, like, but then I was like, she was like, well, at least you're being safe. I was like, yeah, I'm being safe. Like, and you always keep condoms with me all the time to make sure that, stuff like that don't happen. But then, so I found out like during like sex education classes that dudes, if they see, because at UC Santa Barbara, right, the bathrooms was always stocked full of condoms, right? And dudes would just always take condoms all the time. We was never fucking. Like, or it's like dudes will take condoms even if they not fucking, just to have a condom on them, right? And then the condoms in the woman's side of the bathroom was stocked up, was always filled, because it was like, if you take condoms, that means you're using condoms if you're a woman. Versus guys is like, oh yeah, I got condoms and stuff like that. And there's a girl, she's like, oh, is that true? Like, do you have condoms? I was like, yeah, I got like, and I pulled out my pocket. Oh, I got 4 condoms right here. And it was like, oh, okay. And it was like, are you using them? I was like, no, but I always want to be safe. It was like, that's your thought process. I'm like, yeah. And so, oh, I wouldn't take a condom. Or like a chick, she's like, I remember I took a condom once and some girls started saying something about me. It's like, oh, she must be using them. And I was like, and see, that's just the mindset that most people have and put on girls, especially like start going into puberty and stuff. It was like, oh, you must be using this, that's why you have them, instead of just being safe, like overall and stuff like that. And I'm just like, this is stupid as fuck. Because I'm like, I remember I had a few condoms. I had a dry spell once. Those condoms expired. You know how long it takes for condoms to expire? Like fucking
a long time, a couple of years.
Yeah, a couple of years, right? So it was, but I remember I was like super sick, so my health was more important than having sex, Funniest thing one time, right? It was another time I was hanging out with some girls, and it was this one chick who I later found out she liked me, and it was like a few homegirls, and then like she was a virgin at the time. She was like waiting to marriage. She was fine. I would have waited for her. But she's like, oh, I got some condoms. Here you go. And I was like, oh no, I don't need those. And she's like, no, you do, because I know you might be out here like having sex, stuff like that. I was like, you don't know my business. You don't know. It's like, no, here, Corde, take these condoms. She's like, you need these condoms. And it's like me and like 4 other girls. I'm like, why are you pushing this on me so hard? She's like, Corde, here's some condoms. I want you to be safe. And like, you out here having sex. I was like, first off, you don't know what I'm doing. Okay. All right. So stop pushing these condoms on me. She was like, Corde, here's some condoms. Take these condoms. I was like, they don't fit. Okay. I tried and they don't fit. I was like, and then all the girls at the table, oh, she's like, these condoms don't fit you. I was like, no. So how'd you know? I said, you think I ain't tried to put them on? And then one chick was like, oh my God, I can't listen to this. And she got up and went over to another table.
That's why you give away condoms, because only some of them fit you.
Yeah, I mean, hey. So the name of this episode is Court. Not all condoms fit.
I'm fucking dying, dude.
But that was like a funny ass moment that I didn't see coming because all the girls just like,
nice.
And I was like, well, thank you for
pushing. What did that feel like? What's that like?
I felt like the fucking man. It felt like the fucking man and stuff like that. And it was funny because they was the Durex condoms. And I remember after trying to use them, like after a while, I stopped grabbing them because I was like, well, these don't fit, so I can't. This is a pointless thing. And then so after that, I started buying Trojans all the time. I'm a big Trojan guy. So Trojan condoms want to sponsor this episode.
Does any other brand? They must make a Magnum equivalent. Like when you think of a big condom, you think of Trojan Magnums. It's the one you think of.
Yeah.
But like, I don't feel like any other brand has like a large size that I could remember.
I don't think so either. I think Trojan just had like this, took the world by storm with their condoms and the Trojan man.
Yeah.
And it was on the radio. So now like every time you think you need like Magnum condoms, you always think Trojan.
Right.
And I remember I was working at a gas station and they sold condoms and it was mostly different size Trojan condoms.
Yeah.
And then it was like one other brand.
Mm-hmm. And
then somebody was like, oh, I don't use Trojans. They break easier. I use this one. And it was like this one guy he always came in every Friday. And then me and my other coworker, we would laugh. He'd be like, can I get some cigarettes? And then he would get like some soda. Like it was cigarettes, energy drink, condoms. And then he'd be like, you have a good night, sir. And he was like, what? And then we just like, look what he got. He was like, hey, what this dude say? He was like, hey, have a good night. He was like, oh. He's like, why you say that? I was like, oh, the trifecta? Was like, yeah. He was like, I was like, so you smoke before and after before and after sex, right? He was like, a little bit of both. I was like, well, get some gum because I know your girl probably don't want cigarette breath as you might be kissing her during. He was like, my man, smart right here.
That's one of those things. I'm pretty sure it's someone's stand-up bit, but like when you buy condoms, everything else you buy sets the narrative for the cashier. Like you can't just just add it to your list.
Yeah.
Now it's all one event.
So it was I remember Aziz Ansari had a joke like this, and I was like, damn, I can't do this joke, even though I worked at a girl. He was like, he had this one guy who would come in, he would buy condoms, a bottle of whiskey, and some mixed CDs.
See? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And he would buy like every day and stuff like that. And he was like, because I think he did the math. He was just like, he's having sex with different girls like he's like, he only bought 5 mixed CDs. And so he was like, why? Who's getting all the CDs? He's like, that should get a mixtape because burn the like little mixtape CD and stuff like that. Now you just do a playlist, but it was super funny because I was just like, yo, that is good math because that does become part of your brain. Like, oh shit. And then another funny thing,
a guy can't just buy rope, duct tape, and condoms. Like he could just, you know what I'm saying? Like that could be totally innocuous. He could just be like doing something else and also needing condoms. But the fact that he bought them in conjunction with those other items, you're like, that dude's a freak.
Yeah, I feel like that's what I do. Last time I got condoms, I got pretzels.
Babe, you want some pretzels? Trying to get. Was that good? Was that good for you? When I buy condoms, I just buy condoms. Well, no. I remember last time I bought condoms, I did buy like some chips and a soda. But that was for the drive to where I was going.
How do you feel about buying condoms like with a girl? Like that's something I run into. Like when I go shopping at Costco with my girlfriend, like we'll buy like the value pack or whatever. And like it used to feel weird because it felt like we were signaling to everyone like, yo, we knock it down. And now it's just like, well,
if you buy the big ass thing, little Jared, if you go into Costco every week and you keep buying,
I didn't say how often we were going. I didn't say we go every Wednesday and Friday. I didn't say that. I didn't say that, Corde. So I don't know why. I don't know if you're like bringing up stuff we ain't talking about on the show.
Yeah. Every Wednesday and Friday. Hell yeah. Oh shit. So creating the image in the fucking. So you said buying condoms with a woman. I'm like, hell yeah. I love to buy condoms with a woman because I love whatever cashier or cashiers, like especially if it's a woman cashier and you with a chick and you buying condoms and they go and they pick up the XL size and then you just like, and they just like, oh, because then they never be looking at it like, oh, okay, yeah. Especially, this has happened. I was going to like, I was dating a chick, I think she lived in Oakland or someplace, right? And we would go to like a certain store to buy condoms and it'd be like a lady cashier, right? And so she would see like what size I was buying was the bigger size condoms, right? And then like, oh, okay. And then a few times like I would go and the chick wasn't there, and I would still be buying condoms, or I wouldn't buy condoms, and then over time a conversation would just spark up like, oh, you're not getting condoms this time? I was like, nah, I'm not getting condoms. It was like, why not? And I was like, oh, me. It's like, yeah, I don't see your girl. And I was like, oh yeah, we broke up. And so she'd be like, oh, y'all broke up? I'm like, yeah, we broke up. Like, okay, so what you doing later on tonight? Like, yeah, the conversation. I was like, I don't know, I might be going to the movie or something like that. What movie? What time? And I was like, oh, like 9:30. She's like, I'm off at 8. All right. I'm like, well, shit, you off at 8? You trying to go see such and such at 9:30? She was like, shh. Yeah. You need me to buy some condoms? And I was like, hey, babe, do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. Hell yeah. Dang. So, yeah. That was.
Yeah, I didn't think about that because it's a problem I don't have. Yeah. Like, a woman knowing you have a massive wiener is probably pretty fantastic. A real John Mayer issue.
Yeah, real John Mayer issue right there. Hey, do you know who John Mayer is? No. So, yeah, it's
sounds
nice.
Cool, man.
It's pretty nice. It's really nice. And it'd be like, it's pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, yeah.
It doesn't suck.
Doesn't suck. Oh, no, I'm not even gonna talk about it, but fuck it. So the chick who was telling me to take these condoms that was not my size, she said her dude she was dating at the time, she said he had a large penis, and he was trying to say that how hard it was, and like how like it's uncomfortable to be in the locker room with like or like certain shit. Like he was trying to victimize himself for having a big dick, and I was just like, wonderful. And I was like, so obviously your boyfriend is white. She was like, how'd you know? And I was like, because me like don't be over here like, oh my God, don't objectify me. I was like, what the hell? I was like, and then I was like, fuck, jeez, he got big dick. I got, I'm like, I got to really compete with this guy, right? So, and we would spend time and time. I look back on this situation and like, I was like, I fucked up hella bad, right? Because I didn't know she was like starting to like me. But she said she was with her dude for like 2.5, 3 years, right? So, at that point, you'd be like, all right, this shit's serious. They both waiting. It's like, she's a virgin, so I'm like, well, I ain't trying to, I've been down this road before. Like, I've tried to talk to a chick with a boyfriend, even though we spend a lot of time. Like, I'm gonna just be super friend zone to the ultimate level, right? And as I was getting to know her, I didn't know she was already fed up with her boyfriend. That's why we talked about him sometimes, but we talked about like us hanging out and all the things that we had in common going on and stuff like that. But in my head, I was like, because, a few other homies too. Oh, yeah, she talked to, we talk too. We be having deep conversations too. I was like, what? Like, how long y'all? It was like, she just likes to talk. She just likes to talk to people. She's a very social person. Like, she don't, she likes to hang with people. Like, sometimes we have conversations too. Like, nothing's going to happen. Like, nothing's going to happen, but she got to do. She got to do. She been winning for like 3 years. She got to do. So people telling you all that shit, right? Not knowing that she was fed up with the dude. They barely communicate and stuff like that. Like, one time we talked for 3 hours in the car. Like, I was like, no, we had this deep ass conversation and shit like that. I was like, I did that with her once. It was like, she just likes deep conversations. And I'm just like, motherfucker.
She likes other shit deep too, dude.
She's a virgin, dude. She's a virgin. So I
don't know. Her voice is different now.
But I was hella mad though, because I think we was actually coming close together, and then because everybody kept telling me that she was with her boyfriend and shit like that. My homegirl told me that later me and my homegirl, we stayed talking about this. She was like, yeah, bro, you fucked up. Like, my homegirl was like straight. Well, no, she's like bisexual, but she was like, it's like, yo, I'd have fucked the shit out of that girl. And I was just like, yo, you think I wasn't trying? And she was like, damn, brother, you really did know. I was like, you could have helped me help a brother out. Like, help a brother out. She was like, I didn't know. I was like, shit, I didn't know either. She was like, I said, how long did you meet her? She was like, I met her like 2.5 weeks. I met her around the same time as y'all, because she knew I had a boyfriend who like lived like in the Bay, because we was at Santa Barbara, and her boyfriend lived in LA or some other place, right? So they was talking about how having a long list of boyfriend is hard, and she was talking about how being strong with her boyfriend, and then the chick who liked me was talking about how she was about to leave him like any day now because he keep fucking up, like because he didn't make time for her. because he didn't make time for her. All right. And trash. I was like trash, right? Because she was gorgeous. I'm not gonna lie, she was gorgeous. I remember she walked in. This how I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I'd be a little player sometime, right? It was like I remember she walked in like to this room where it was this thing called Coffee and Community for transfer students, right? She walks in and I was like, who is this thick ass white chick with like just stacked, but she had colorful ass hair. Like I love chicks with colorful hair, and it's like it was like rainbow colors. Oh no, it was like purple. It was like turquoise and purple. Like I still remember to this day, because it was like, you ever seen like those one scenes in the 90s? They walk in, it's like, oh, and I was like, yo, who was that? And my homegirl just kind of turned and looked at me. She's like, hey, Corde, and I was like, hey, and she was like, what? And I was like, nothing at all. And this is me like looking at her, and I was like, nothing at all. Funny thing about this was there was a chick in there who liked me, and there was another chick who I was kind of talking to, and I'm just like, I just stopped. I was already talking to a chick who liked me. After that one chick walked in, I just stared at her the whole time. I forgot they was there. And then my homegirl was like, the chick sitting next to me, she was like, I don't know why Corde be so mean to me. He be so damn mean. I don't know why he's like this. Because when he texts me at night, he be super nice then, be wanting to hang out and stuff. I was like, bitch, if you don't shut the fuck up. And my homegirl was like, Corde, and I was like, hey, your phone ringing, because I was talking to my homegirl, and I was like, yeah, I'll be trying to hang out with this chick, but she never want to hang out. Like I was like, she put it on thick. I was like, I asked her to hang out, cause like, I don't know, I'm weird. Like I don't want everybody to know who I'm talking to, so I'm like, cause everybody was like, I heard you guys talking. Are you guys talking? I'm like, no, we not. And I'm like, cause I didn't know where she stood. I didn't know she liked me. And I would ask her to hang out, and she'd be like, no, I'm really tired, yada, yada, yada. And then she make this big announcement, like, Corde be hitting me up like all the time to trying to hang out. And I'm like, yeah, and what do you say? It's like, oh, I can't. And I'm like, so yeah, so we don't hang out. So who do you be hanging out with? So I don't know. I pointed to my homegirl. She's like, does she have a boyfriend? I was like, yeah, we hang out. We're friends. Like, kind of so, oh, you just hanging out to be friends with her? And I was just like, her, yeah. And then so we created this weird dynamic, and the whole time I'm just like, you need to stop saying this shit in front of this fine ass white girl right here who I'm trying to talk to eventually. And then I stopped talking to the other two chicks, and I just had all this time with this fine white girl. It was fucked. I fucked it up because I remember it was literally on Snapchat. She was showing me all her. She's like, oh, my one friend is cute. And I thought she was like showing me like fine chicks, and I was like, oh yeah, this one chick right here I'm talking to was cute too. And then all of a sudden the messages stopped. And I was just like, did I fuck up? I was like, I just showed her like a fine chick. I was like, did I fuck up? And then all of a sudden, like, I think 2 weeks later, she's dating like a grad student. And I was just like,
it was a trap.
It was a trap. And I failed. Because I remember after that, she became very cold to me. Like, she was not.
Oh, you find other women attractive? Trash.
But I think I kind of messed up because it was like we used to talk about it. We used to talk all the time about a bunch of different stuff. We talked about everything. We talked about sex. We talked about waiting till like marriage, stuff like that. Or I was like,
sex, the lack of it.
Yeah, right. And then it was funny because we was talking. She's like, Corde, would you wait? I was like, for some people, I'll wait. I wouldn't wait for everybody though. It's like, yeah, I was like, I have a boyfriend now. So I was like, yeah, I bet he would wait for you. I know I would. I was like, so you wouldn't put, I was like, we could do other stuff. And like, if we're not doing that, we could do other stuff and things like that. I was like, I just want to know, that eventually it's going to happen. If we're going to be together, we're going to be together. Like, I have no problem like waiting for you, you find gorgeous. We have great chemistry and stuff. So we could do other things. And then I don't succumb to the peer pressure of homies or other people saying, y'all need to have sex. I'm like, because I know I'm good. So like, whenever time you give me the okay, I was like, just be ready that we're gonna have a good night. Like kind of a thing. It's like, oh, okay. And then yeah, she's like, so have you ever met other girls who try to make you wait? And I was like, yeah. She's like, did you? I was like, fuck no. She's like, why was that? That's kind of shallow, Corde. I was like, you don't wait for every girl. I was like, if a chick waiting for marriage, that's cool, but you don't wait for every single woman. Like, some women are special and you wait for them. Some women will tell you like, oh, I'm waiting for marriage. And you be like, that's cool. And some dudes will talk to them for like a month or two. I'm like, oh shit, this chick's serious. And won't wait. I was like, I've only met one of the chick before you who I was willing to wait for. And then I remember I asked her when she got married, I was like, was she a virgin when she got married? And I was this kind of personal question. She was like, I was. And I was like, okay, cool. And she's like, why'd you ask me that? I was like, I just remember everybody telling me that this chick is waiting for marriage. So, you know, dudes try to be playing stuff like that, trying to have sex with her. She was like, you know, right now, you trying to have sex with her, you barking up the wrong tree. And it was funny because it was like homies like will protect her. But hey, bro, if you want to talk to her, I'm gonna let you know now she's waiting to marriage. Like not even on like, nah, no. Like it's a firm stance that she's told me and every other dude who might have tried to talk to her, or even her male homies. Like if your homie try to talk to me, just let them know this ain't breaking for nobody. And I thought that was like such a crazy thing. Cause I remember this was the first chick I ever fell in love with. Like the chick who told me, cause I remember my cousin told me, he was like, hey, I don't know if you're gonna be trying to be out here playing her and stuff like that. I was like, no, I really like this chick, right? And like he's like, just know she went for marriage. I was like, all right. He didn't know I was a virgin at the time I think I just lost my virginity. I lost my virginity like at 18. And then he was like, he just letting you know, like she went for marriage. And I'm just like in my head, I'm like, cuz I just lost my virginity 6 months ago. I was like, I can wait. Like, I was like, you just had it once, you know, a few times. I'm like, cuz she was bad. I remember we got along hella great too. So I was easy, like fall in love with her. So yeah. But the other chick in at Santa Barbara, another amazing chick like her, who talking to her was just easy. And I remember we saw Infinity War, right? And then after we saw like a late show, I think it was like 9:30, and the movie was like 2.5 hours, right? And we stayed up till 3 a.m. talking about everything. And I'm just like, I was like, fuck, why did my homie say, I talked to her deep and long shit like too? Like we randomly, and it's funny because I think it was somebody else trying to get a ride with her. It was like, and she's like, you know, Corde, I'll ride with you. I don't want you to drive back home by yourself. Man, the movies was like 3 minutes from where we lived. And I didn't put two and two together. So I just fucked up. But yeah, my homegirl always looked back. She's like, yeah, bro, you fucked up. That bitch was fine. I was like, I know that bitch was fine. Damn. How much more we got?
We got like 5 more minutes.
5 more minutes. Okay, cool. Yo, for those listening, I wrote down so much stuff that we never got to. You see this right here? I got to one topic on this list. So let's just say this for next week, I guess. But also, since we talk about it, let's talk about switch pivot. Let's talk about Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole beef, or like, well, it wasn't even a beef. So this is what happened, right? Kendrick Lamar, did you guys ever hear the Control verse that Kendrick Lamar dropped like years ago? It was like 10, 12 years ago. So Kendrick Lamar had dropped this dope ass Control verse off it was on a Big Sean song, right? I think the song was 7 minutes. Kendrick Lamar went in for like 5 of it, right? And then that sparked like this whole like controversy. Hella people like, yo man, that people put diss tracks out to Kendrick Lamar. So then J. Cole and Drake did a song together. And Drake and Kendrick has always been beefing, right? Always been beefing since I think after Kendrick and Drake shot the Poetic Justice video in like 2012, they always had like ongoing beefs over the years, right? And the top 3 rappers, so most people say, is Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, and Drake, right? And so J. Cole and Drake did a song together, and it was like he's like who's the big 3? Me, J. Cole, and it's like me, Kendrick, and Drake, or something like that, right? And then so Kendrick Lamar jumped on a Metro Boomin song featuring Future, talked about. He said, "Man, fuck the big 3. It's just me, nigga, bomb." Right, and then was going in on that, and then Drake has a song. He was like, I'm be like Michael. He's like, say who would go ahead, say it then. I'm like, I'm only person bigger than me is Michael, and then so then Kendrick respond. He was like, Prince outlived Michael. He was like, and he's a GOAT. Like, nigga, it was like bum. So right. So Drake and Kendrick kind of have like this little tit for tat going back and forth. And then J. Cole dropped a surprise album, I think last Thursday. Or like at this point, it might be 2 weeks ago. Said I might delete later. And he goes in and says that Kendrick Lamar's catalog is trash, right? And he said he talked about his one album called To Pimp a Butterfly, right? Critically acclaimed, second album, super deep, bunch of stuff like that. He's like the CD was alright, but everybody gassed it. Then he was like, your catalog is weak. He's like, your next album was great, and that was the peak. And then your last album was weak. Like, so basically, good little bars and stuff like that. I was like, damn. Because I've listened to, I try to listen to Pimp a Butterfly. It's too deep for me. Or like, it was like a weird, because I love Good Kid, Mad City, right? And then To Pimp a Butterfly was such a big switch up. I wasn't ready for it. And then this album, Damn, is like a dope album. I feel like it's the mixing of the two. So I feel like if Good Kid, Mad City, and then he dropped Damn, and then he dropped To Pimp a Butterfly, you would have seen like the projection of how he switched up. But it was such a weird transition for me. It was like a lot of Black Power man and stuff like that. It just wasn't what I was ready for after listening to Good Kid, Mad City. So I'm like, oh, you said To Pimp a Butterfly was trash? I was like, I mean, hella people was saying it was hella dope and hella deep, and I'm like, sometimes I always want that. Like, like I want some hits. I want some dope songs. Like, I Love Myself was like a weird single. Like, it was dope, but I was just like, this is different. Like, and then like every song after that was like very different. But We Gonna Be All Right is a dope ass song that I always play. It's like a huge Black anthem, because it's like, even though you're going through all this bullshit and all the stuff that you deal with in life, you gonna be all right no matter what. I played that for like hella times during several summers, because I was like not doing well in classes, but I was like, but if God got us, then we got us, and we gonna be all right. So it would help me whenever going to like a final. I was like, I need to pass this final so I don't get kicked out. I was like, we gonna be all right, crying because I need to pass this damn final. So yeah. So he had this song, I think it's called 7 Minutes, something like that. And then he had this song to Kendrick too, that both was good. And I was like, yo, this is heat right here. Funny about it, this album wasn't that good. I might delete later album. Everybody was like, yo, J. Cole spitting, he going hard. And I'm like, so I'm not a huge J. Cole fan, right? But I like listen to him to try to figure out like, all right, is this shit really dope? And it's just like, some of it is like, because his peak album was Forest Hills Drive. That was J. Cole. And then he put like another, he was like, yo, he went double platinum with no features. That shit was dope. And I was like, I'm not a huge J. Cole album, big J. Cole fan, and I didn't listen to that album. Probably one of the best albums put out there. And I listened to it later. I was like, oh shit, this shit fire. I think it was like maybe like one song that wasn't good off of like a 15 song album. I was like, shit, this shit good, right? And then, so then he now comes with an album that, most like the first few songs is all right. Then like he had like a few, like before the 2 diss tracks, which is towards the end of the album, it started getting good. Like it was, I think it's like 24 songs, and like the first half is not, I'm like, well, okay, this song good. Okay, this song good. This song, oh shit, and then he dropped a diss. So it was like literally started off cool, and then you get to like a dope song. Like, oh, here we go. Oh, he really cooking now. He cooking now, and he dissed Kendrick. The thing that sucked about it, Ed, he does this thing in North Carolina. I forget what it's called, but he after dropping 2 dope diss tracks to Kendrick Lamar, and J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar ain't gonna fight, ain't gonna be guns, ain't gonna be like nobody gunned down. Like sometimes it happen in rap beef, and that's what you don't want, right? He apologized to Kendrick for what he said to him, and other people were like in the rap game, like it was like, because who are super J. Cole fans, like, see, Kendrick don't want it. J. Cole got these bars. This is a prime example. He was like, yo, like, Kendrick might make the better hits or better albums or, like, stuff like that, because Kendrick drop an album, like, once every 3 to 4 years, and they be having, like, super huge hits and stuff like that, right? And it was like, see, like, Drake got the hits because he always dropped, like, a ton of stuff, but then Kendrick got the hits and the lyrics, but then if it came to a rap battle, like J. Cole would probably wash Kendrick, because it's like the thoughts, he would probably wash Kendrick because when it comes to being lyrical, being like diss records and like really like tripping up somebody and really bringing the bars, J. Cole got it, right? So then we thinking, okay, now J. Cole, Kendrick going back and forth at it. We about to see this dope ass battle. Kendrick drop 1, J. Cole drop 2. What Kendrick gonna do now and stuff like that? How he gonna respond? Meanwhile, Drake over here not saying nothing, not doing shit, even though him and Kendrick got like a lot of beef. So I was like, come on, Drake, what the fuck going on, right? And then before, because I think the album dropped on a Thursday, J. Cole apologizes on Sunday. Don't like, we couldn't even get a diss track from like Kendrick or something like that. And everybody like, come on, man. We needed this. We wanted to see the top 3 go at it. Like 2 people go at it. Like, what the fuck? And he was like, it just didn't feel right with my spirit. And it sit right with me. So like, yo, we got any J. Cole fans or Kendrick Lamar fans? I'm like, woo, stuff like that. And I'm just like, this shit whack. Cause I'm like, yo, I was ready to hear like a dope ass like a dope rap battle between people who it won't end in gunshots or it won't end in like a fight. Like, you want that because it's like, oh, bars on top of bars going back. Who had the best? Because I think a lot of people felt it would have been like the best like rap battle, rap beef, I guess, since Jay-Z and Nas. It could have been like on that level, like two dope dudes who are both lyrical at the top of their game and can really like bring the bars where you'll hear like a good beat with some good back and forth lyrics on both sides. It's kind of what you really want to see. You don't want to see like the dudes who really like gang affiliated or stuff like that have a rap beef, because then usually that ends up to like people getting shot or people's like entourage shooting other people's entourage, and now like this huge beef. Like, you didn't want that. You wanted some, this ought to be bar for bar, lyrics on top of lyrics, diss track on top of diss tracks, and then J. Cole apologized 4 days later, and when you get that. So that's what the hype and the shit was like. I was like, fuck. I was like, this is why I'm not a J. Cole fan. Because I was like, all right, this shit whack. Yeah. I don't want to end like that. I don't want to. What else I got?
We're going to get kicked out of the studio soon, so you got to figure it out.
Okay. Well, never mind. Shit, we about to get kicked out of the studio, so hell yeah. That's it. That's been this week's episode of the Corde Snell Show. Did you get your hour of Corde this week? Funny thing about it, yo, shout out to Andre Pippins, yo. I remember he put in our little group chat on Instagram. He put it randomly. He was like, did you get your hour of Corde this week? And then I put #no Diddy.
Nice.
And all the homies in the chat was like, what the fuck you talking about? And he was like, hey, you not listening to the pod? And he was like, I mean, I did. He was like, oh, you didn't make it to the end? So shout out to Andre Pippins specifically for you. You got your hour of Corde last week. You need your hour of Corde this week. Because if Corde made you feel better, if Corde triggered you, I'm sorry about that. But if Corde helped you learn something through this week, then Corde made your day, and made your week, hopefully made your night. Also, if you have any, if you want to comment or talk to us about anything about me and my perspectives on dating or stuff like that, or like how why you don't like small talk, please hit us up at the Corde Snell Show email at thecordesnellshow@gmail.com, right? I got that right? Yep. Email us, talk about why you might not like small talk. Tell like, especially ladies, like I want to hear from y'all. Like, tell us like your dating experiences, and then it says like doing the bare minimum. Like, what's the bare minimum? Because dudes always think about when cheating is like trash, but like we don't understand like the bare minimum, or like help us meet you halfway so we can improve and help, like, help men and women out there date better, talk better, and things like that. And also I'll start talking about my dates. I got a few shows coming up a few weeks from now, but I'll save it for another podcast until I actually get it done. But this has been the Corde Snell Show. I don't know what the name of this title going to be for this episode, but it's going to be super dope because I brought a lot of fire out there. Also, white women, I do date you. My mom doesn't deter me from who I'm gonna date. Okay. All right. If my mom doesn't like you, that's even more reason why for me to date you, because I always said my mom doesn't want you at her house, but that's why I bring you to my grandma's house, because my grandma loved me more than my mom do. And that's been the Corde Snell Show, and we out.